Hello, I'm back tuning in to today's video. Going to have a look at the next 8 to 10 days in today's video, which will take us beyond Christmas. I think go up to the 27th of December with this, so going more or less towards the end of the year. By the way, there will be a Christmas update tonight where we're firming up on the detail of weather for Christmas, but it does look like it's going to be a very mild and unsettled Christmas. But as I say, this is taking us beyond the Christmas period just about, and we'll see what the charts are showing. We may just be starting to see a few hints of a move towards high pressure towards the end of December. Now, whether this is high pressure, it gives us a colder spell, or whether it stays generally mild, it remains to be seen. But I think we may be seeing just the first signs, little hints of a little bit of a change in the weather pattern. So I'll have a look at the detail on it in a second. But before I get on with that, just to say about the ads, there's links to articles on all pages that guys want to have a browse through widgets and click through the links if there's any articles that you're interested in. Fancy, make sure you do that. There's video ads to most pages, say open up the content, question about close back up again, itself page website. And of course, the Christmas shop is still there. It's getting very, very close to Christmas. I think it's a week today, Christmas Eve. You've still just about got time to get your Christmas presents out to you, I think. Not sure what the last day is. I suppose you can go a few days beyond this, even if you're willing to pay extra for delivery. But I think they're still on standard delivery anyway. It's still just about time to get the Christmas presents out to you. But I would do it today because I think time is very quickly now running out. So all you have to do is click through the Amazon banners in the Christmas shop and go and do your Christmas shopping at Amazon, and we get a review fee on the things that you are purchasing. Thanks so much for doing that. It's been a phenomenal success again this year, so a big, big thank you to everybody that's done their Christmas shopping via the Amazon banners in Gav's shop. I thought I'd just start off with this. It's a very bold and dramatic looking chart. This was the chart from 5 years ago today, on the 17th of December 2010. That incredible big freeze was beginning today, and it was all because of this chart, which is showing intense northern blocking with high pressure going up to Greenland and connecting up to high pressure over the North Pole, and consequently we actually pushed a piece of the polar vortex out of the North Pole and pushed it down over Western Europe, and that's indicated by this trough of low pressure here, very cold trough of low pressure containing the polar vortex, and that of course pushed down these bitterly cold northerly winds with heavy snow, sub-zero temperatures, and I'm sure you remember that this freeze carried on to Christmas. So the far south did get a bit of melting of the snow actually just before Christmas, but where I am in the Midlands and many places further north, we kept deep snow cover on the ground throughout the Christmas period. It finally thawed away on Boxing Day night, I think, and into the 27th of December. But it was a very memorable Christmas, very Dickensian Christmas with freezing cold temperatures and a lot of snow, quite deep snow on the ground. What a difference 5 years makes, because this is the central temperature from Hadley provisional up to the 16th of December, and it stands at 9.3, which is an anomaly of 4.4 degrees above average, so it's still over 4 degrees above average in the central England region, provisional up to the 16th. This is over a degree above the all-time December record set in 1934 and again 1974 of 8.1. There's nothing really appearing that's going to change this. If we do get a bit of high pressure at the end of the month, it could lower this a little bit, but I think really the record is going to go this year, and we're going to set an all-new December central England temperature record in terms of the warmest December on record. By the way, that December from 2010 was just 0.1 of a degree off the all-time record set in 1890. So this month is everything that December 2010 wasn't. I mean, this is at the other end of the scale in terms of warm temperatures, whereas December 2010 was at the cold end of the scale. Two very extreme Decembers. It hasn't been as warm as this across Scotland. I have to emphasise that before I have anybody from Scotland telling me off. So I am aware that you did indeed, or you have indeed had some colder conditions this month, and you may not break the record, but certainly for England and Wales, it has been a very extreme warm month so far, and it looks like it's going to continue for quite some time. Here's the 500 millibar height anomaly flowcharts for the next 8 to 10 days. This takes us to 27th of December. We've got the E70UF on the top, the GFS is on the bottom. 500 millibars, 80,000 feet is an area in the atmosphere where high pressure and low pressure are being moved around by a jet stream running above. So we've got this trough of low pressure even at 8 to 10 days time to the north and the west of the country. We've got ridging across many parts of Europe, and it's this ridging that could just push up from the south and east and move this trough out further into the Atlantic. This is going up from quite a mild direction though, so I don't think it's going to be a particularly cold ridge, at least not initially anyway. The flow should still be generally from the south or southwest initially, but if the high pressure was to actually build over top of the country because of the time of year, we will probably radiate the heat out of the high pressure quite quickly, and it could start to turn cold on the surface. So we're going to watch it. It may give us a frosty end to the year, but the position of where the high pressure is originating from isn't a particularly cold one. The GFS temperature and precipitation on summer's looking like this, very significantly warmer than average at the moment. The thick red line is a 30-year temperature average. That's where we are right now, where we've been across the south anyway, through virtually the whole of the month. We do go down a little bit there at the start of next week, and then again just running up towards Christmas goes a bit cooler, but overall it is a very mild looking chart that. And you notice that the trend is actually upwards through towards the end of the year. The dates are along the bottom of the chart. So by the time you get through towards New Year, it does look really quite mild in terms of the upper air temperature, but remember this is probably high pressure building in, and we can see that from the rainfall spikes disappearing. So not too much rain coming up over the next few days, then quite a lot coming up at the start of next week, quite a lot of rain over Christmas, but then you notice it is trending drier there as we go into the end of the month and into the start of January. So there's fewer rainfall spikes at the same time as these temperatures are lifting up in terms of the upper air temperatures. It probably implies that high pressure is building up from the south, which, as says, it's going to have fairly mild air associated with it initially. It's just whether that high pressure can set itself up over top of the country that could give us some frostier weather as we go towards the end of the year. Now this is a very shocking chart. This is the temperature anomaly for the coming week. This is the 17th through to Christmas Day. And look how warm it is from Ireland and Portugal out in the west over to Russia in the east. It's incredibly warm across many parts of Europe. You'll remember the CFS V2 several months ago was showing these kind of temperature anomaly maps for Europe for this winter, and I was a bit dubious about it. I think most people were pretty dubious about it because CFS V2 is a fairly unstable model at the best of times, but it does look as though it's got this right, certainly up to this point in the winter. Anyway, with just a sea of red from the Atlantic over to Russia. Incredible warmth there coming up for the time of the year. And many parts of Europe are going to be struggling to get snow for this Christmas. So many parts of Europe will not be having a white Christmas. The rainfall anomaly looks very significantly drier than average across the south of Europe, wetter than average across the north of Europe. So it just tells us that we're going to have this continued westerly, southwesterly flow with high pressure to the south and low pressure up to the north. The generic charts look like this. The GFS for Monday shows low pressure rolling in off the Atlantic, bringing another band of wind and rain through the country. That goes on into Tuesday. Wednesday, again, westerlies, probably showery and a little bit cooler. Going to Christmas Eve with another area of low pressure coming into western Scotland. That could bring some severe gales to them. As I say, we will have a look at Christmas in detail on the Christmas updates page this evening. Another low pressure rolling through on Christmas Day could give us a very mild but wet and windy spell on Christmas Day. I mean, day 10, the 27th of December, looks like that. Just a few hints of high pressure starting to build up from the south. Excuse me. And as we go through to 28th of December, that is developed more. And we do get quite a big build of high pressure there across central parts of Europe, which initially is dragging in mild air. It has got mild air associated with this high pressure. But because of the position of the high, we could start to radiate the warmth out quite quickly, possibly get some frost going up towards the new year. ECWF shows westerlies coming through the country on Monday, go through to Tuesday, another one of these long fetch southwesterlies, dragging in very mild air to the south, but it's probably wet and windy. Cooler and showery for Wednesday, Christmas Eve. Another low pressure, deep one close to western Scotland could bring some gales to them on Christmas Eve. Christmas Day looking unsettled as well. And then day 10, 27th of December, we don't build in that ridge as we saw with the GFS. Actually, we stay in a very westerly, southwesterly pattern with more bands of wind and rain coming in across the country. So there is a bit of uncertainty there and a split between the GFS and the ECM as regards to day 10, whether we start to ridge in those heights from the south. Finally, this is the city temperature forecast for Birmingham from the CFS V2 model for the next 6 weeks. This is from weatherweb.net. We've got temperatures along the side of the chart, dates along the bottom. Very mild at the moment, of course, staying very mild up towards the new year. This is January the 1st, just here. And then we get a bit of a trend downwards with the temperatures into the start of January. Actually goes quite cold through the middle part of the month. This is mid-January just here, and at that point we're only getting maximums of around 2 or 3 Celsius there for about a week. So quite a cold spell actually sets up there through the middle part of January before it goes very mild again towards the end of the month. That could be, it's hard to say what's causing that colder spell in the middle part of the month. It could just be high pressure building up and sitting over the country, giving us a frosty spell. Of course, it could be something significantly more wintry than that. There's no way of knowing. But it's interesting. It does see things going a bit colder middle part of January. But up to Christmas, it's looking very mild and unsettled. After Christmas, we might get some sort of a ridge, which could give us a few frosts as we get up towards the new year. But overall, the westerlies and the mild temperatures look set to continue for the foreseeable future, which is around a week to 10 days away. It's JMA Friday tomorrow, so we'll have a look at the month ahead. That'll be the last JMA Friday of the year, because the next week is Christmas Day, of course, which I won't be doing the video then. So we'll have the last JMA Friday of 2015 tomorrow. Come back for that then. That's all now. Thanks for watching.